Hey guys, I'm going to be doing a review on the Razer Naga gaming mouse, shown here. Um, it's a pretty unique mouse. It's got some things I have not seen on any other mouse before. 12 programmable keys on the side, as you can see. And it also has this little nub that sticks out right there. I guess that's for your right ring finger when it's resting on the mouse. Gives the mouse a very unique look, as you can see. Let me just rotate it around. I think it looks very nice. It's a very sleek look. Retails for 80, I think, is what's on the site. Some of the specs goes up to 5600 DPI, insanely high. It's actually too high in my opinion, but I guess maybe someone out there would use something like that. 1000 hertz polling rate, and I think it can record movements up to 200 inches per second, I think, something like that. So even on low sensitivity, this mouse should record all movement, and it's worked fine for me even when I've tried it on low sensitivity. The Razer Naga weighs 3.8 ounces. It's exactly the same as the Logitech MX518. The G9X completely unloaded weighs about 3.8 ounces, and the Death Adder. Okay, let's talk about some of the actual features of the mouse. We have a rubberized scroll wheel right here. Rubberized matte finish on the top with a glossy finish going around the whole mouse, even on the front. We have two buttons here. Those are programmable as well as these 12, and the mouse button is clickable. We also have these nice finger grooves that come down. They're on I think all of the Razer mice now, but they're pretty pronounced on this mouse. Similar to like the Death Adder has these. They feel really good. I really wish more companies would start using these little grooves on the mouse buttons. They cup your fingers. It just feels really good when you have your fingers resting on these. It feels like they're like it was meant to be. Like your fingers are meant to be on this mouse. I don't know. It's really comfortable. As far as the looks go on this mouse, one of the best looking mice I think I've ever seen. It lights up blue, obviously, and I think it looks really good. This is like a matte rubberized finish. It feels really nice. Got the glossy sides. Let me actually show it to you in the dark. I really like the way this thing looks in the dark. I think it looks really nice. The Razer logo pulses. You cannot turn that on permanently or off. I mean, sorry, you can turn that off. But yeah, you can turn any of these lights off independently. The grip on the mouse is pretty comfortable. I think it's made more for palm grip style mouse users rather than claw grip or fingertip grip people. So I'd only recommend it for people who use the palm grip and who do not have large hands. The mouse is kind of small. It's small this way. It's a lot less long. It's a lot shorter than other mice. The height is still pretty much the same as most mice. But if you have large hands, I don't think this mouse will be very comfortable for you. Talking about the buttons on the mouse, as far as like the responsiveness and stuff, the 12 side keys, you're not gonna have any problems accidentally pressing any of them. They're actually very they're kind of hard to press, and it's not. It sounds bad, but it's actually not. They're easy to press when you want to press them. You're not gonna accidentally be clicking them just because your thumb is resting on them, and I think that's actually kind of useful because when you're actually holding the mouse naturally, your fingers are resting on the buttons, so you're ready to press them. But And that's different than a lot of other mice where the buttons are up here. You have to move your hand up to press the buttons. So you're like, I mean, ready to press the buttons, but they're you know, heavy enough that you're not gonna press them accidentally. I think that this last row of keys right here is a bit of a stretch. When you're holding this, you know, moving around and stuff, to have to bring your thumb this far back, you kind of have to ruin your grip in a sense. You have to bring it off, or just, you know, stretch your thumb back so far that it's uncomfortable to press these last rows, or this last row of keys right here. You don't have to use them, of course. You just use the first 9. What I kind of wish they would have done is had these first 9 the only keys and made them bigger, but I guess it kind of works well like this, because the size that they are now, it's almost like a small cell phone, you know. It's just kind of easy to press. It's like a natural feel. But these last keys right here, these last 3, I think they're a little too far back. These 2 click buttons though, the main click buttons, for something where you're gonna have to be pressing them repeatedly, like quickly, like that, as fast as you can, like a first-person shooter, for example, like shooting a semi-automatic gun or something like that. They're, in my opinion, they travel very far, and they're very springy, making it kind of hard to, you know, like repeatedly press stuff. It's not too bad, but I've definitely seen better on mice. And the scroll wheel clicks very easily and nicely. It's a super small travel. It's very light press. It's very nice. The rotation is a little it requires a little bit more force than some other scroll wheels, but it works well for, like, you know, changing weapons. You just want to move it once to, like, go to the next weapon or something like that, then it works pretty well. I think this is geared more towards, like, you know, like World of Warcraft style games, things like that, where you have like a bunch of commands that you have to press, and you can just, you know, set them to buttons. For first-person shooters, it could be useful. I've tried playing Halo with this, and I have these set to a bunch of different things, and it actually does work out kind of well. I only found things for like the first 6 buttons though. I don't really think I'd ever use 12 for a first-person shooter. But like, for example, you could set it to, like, if you're playing BioShock or something like that, like you have 8 different guns, instead of scrolling to find it, you can just set your weapons to each individual key or something like that. I don't know. You probably find a use for this. But I think that if you were playing first-person shooters, you know, primarily, not like World of Warcraft style games, to find a different mouse, one with the 2 normal keys that are on the side, they're a little bit easier to press. These keys are supposed to replace, I'm assuming that the 2 normal keys that go on the side, because factory settings, they come with this being forward and this being back. Like if you're in a web browser or in a Windows Explorer window, this is forward and this is back. The problem with that is that these keys are way too far over to be comfortable. And not only that, they're kind of hard to press, so it's not like you can, you know, they're just uncomfortable keys. You have to stretch your finger over too far to press them. It's like, I can't do that. You basically have to move your grip over to press it and then move it back. So for anything other than, like, you know, DPI settings up and down, I wouldn't recommend using these buttons for anything like in-game, in a fast-paced game, like, you know, a first-person shooter or something like that. So for a first-person shooter, I don't think I'd recommend this mouse. For like this mouse was actually designed around like World of Warcraft style games, so if you're into those kind of games, then I could see how these buttons would be useful, and I would recommend something like this.